Did you know that the most successful people in history had one thing in common that most people completely overlook? They all had a specific morning routine that wasn't about coffee, exercise, or checking emails. It was something far more powerful. Imagine if I told you that this same practice could transform not only your entire day but also accelerate your English learning in ways you never thought possible. In ancient times, King David discovered a morning secret so effective that it shaped his decisions, protected him from enemies, and gave him unshakable confidence. Today, you're about to uncover this 3,000-year-old wisdom that combines spiritual growth with advanced English vocabulary, teaching you expressions that will make you sound like a native speaker while discovering life-changing truths. Let's explore Psalm 5, where David opens with one of the most intimate prayers you'll ever encounter. O Lord, hear me as I pray. Pay attention to my groaning. Notice how David doesn't start with formal religious language, he begins with raw honesty. The word groaning here isn't just about physical pain. It represents those deep, wordless feelings we all experience. In English, we use groaning to describe sounds of frustration, exhaustion, or overwhelming emotion. When someone says the whole room was groaning, they mean everyone was expressing displeasure. David is essentially saying, God, even when I can't find the right words, hear my heart. This teaches us that authentic communication doesn't always require perfect vocabulary. Sometimes our deepest feelings transcend words. The phrase pay attention is more urgent than simply listen. It means to focus intently, like when a teacher says pay attention to this important detail. David continues building his case with increasing urgency. Listen to my cry for help, my King and my God, for I pray to no one but you. The progression from hear me to pay attention to listen to my cry shows escalating intensity. A cry for help is what we call a desperate appeal. It's not a casual request, but an urgent plea. When David calls God my King and my God, he's using possessive language that shows both submission and intimacy. In English, the difference between the king and my king is enormous. One is distant, the other is personal. The phrase I pray to no one but you uses exclusive language. The word but here means except. David is declaring his complete devotion. In modern English, we might say you're my only hope, or I'm putting all my trust in you. This kind of exclusive commitment is rare in our world of multiple options and backup plans. Now comes David's morning routine, revelation. Listen to my voice in the morning, Lord. Each morning I bring my requests to you and wait expectantly. This verse unlocks the secret I mentioned at the beginning. The word morning appears twice, emphasizing timing and consistency. David doesn't pray randomly throughout the day, he has a specific time. The phrase bring my requests uses the language of making an offering or presentation. In English, when we bring something to someone, we're deliberately carrying it to them, like bringing a gift to a friend. The beautiful phrase wait expectantly combines patience with anticipation. When you wait expectantly, you're not just passing time, you're actively looking forward to something. It's like waiting for your favorite restaurant to open because you know the food will be amazing. David prays with confidence because he knows God will respond, even if not immediately. David then shifts to describing God's character with powerful moral language. O God, you take no pleasure in wickedness. You cannot tolerate the sins of the wicked. The phrase take no pleasure means to find no enjoyment or satisfaction in something. When we say someone takes pleasure in something, they derive happiness from it. David is saying God gets no joy from evil actions. The word wickedness is stronger than just bad behavior. It refers to deliberate moral corruption. The phrase cannot tolerate is even stronger than dislike. It means to be completely unable to accept or endure something. In English, when we say we cannot tolerate something, we mean it's absolutely unacceptable to us. For example, I cannot tolerate dishonesty means dishonesty is completely unacceptable. This verse teaches us that God has absolute moral standards, not flexible preferences. The language becomes even more intense. Therefore, the proud may not stand in your presence, for you hate all who do evil. The word therefore connects this verse to the previous one. It's a logical conclusion. When someone may not stand in someone's presence, it means they're not allowed or able to be there. In formal English, may not is stronger than cannot. It implies prohibition, not just inability. The word proud here doesn't mean having healthy self-respect. It refers to arrogance and thinking you're better than others. When David says God hates evildoers, he's using the strongest possible language for disapproval. In Hebrew culture, hate in this context means complete rejection and opposition. This isn't personal dislike but moral judgment. The phrase all who do evil is comprehensive. There are no exceptions based on status, wealth, or power. David continues with vivid imagery about consequences. You will destroy those who tell lies. The Lord detests murderers and deceivers. The certainty of you will destroy shows David's confidence in God's justice. In English, when we say someone will do something, we're expressing certainty about the future. The phrase those who tell lies could simply say liars, but David uses more words to emphasize the action. The word detests is even stronger than hates. It means to regard with intense disgust and aversion. When you detest something, you find it absolutely repulsive. David lists murderers and deceivers together, showing that God opposes both violent crimes and dishonest manipulation. A deceiver is someone who deliberately misleads others, like a con artist or fraud. This verse teaches us that God cares about both physical harm and emotional manipulation. Now David makes a beautiful contrast. Because of your unfailing love, I can enter your house. I will worship at your temple with deepest awe. The phrase because of shows cause and effect. David can approach God only due to God's character, not his own goodness. Unfailing love is a powerful English expression meaning love that never stops, never weakens, and never disappoints. When something is unfailing, it's completely reliable, like an unfailing compass that always points north. The phrase I can enter your house implies privilege and welcome. In ancient times, you couldn't just walk into a king's palace, you needed permission and invitation. David feels welcomed into God's presence. The word worship comes from an Old English word meaning worthship, declaring someone's worth and value. Deepest awe combines intensity with reverence. When you're in awe of something, you're overwhelmed by its greatness, like standing before a massive waterfall or seeing the northern lights. David asks for guidance with humble confidence. Lead me in the right path, O Lord, or my enemies will conquer me. Make your way plain for me to follow. The verb lead implies David is willing to follow. He's not demanding directions, he's asking for guidance. The phrase right path doesn't just mean correct directions. It means the morally right way to live. When David says, or my enemies will conquer me, he's being honest about his vulnerability. The word conquer means to defeat completely and take control. David knows he needs God's help to survive. The beautiful request, make your way plain for me to follow, uses the word plain to mean clear and obvious. When something is plain, it's easy to understand, like plain English versus complicated legal language. David wants unmistakable guidance, not confusing signals. Then David describes his enemies with shocking imagery. My enemies cannot speak a truthful word. Their deepest desire is to destroy others. Their talk is foul, like the stench from an open grave. Their tongues are filled with flattery. The phrase cannot speak a truthful word means they're incapable of honesty. It's not that they occasionally lie, but that truth is impossible for them. Deepest desire refers to their core motivation, their driving passion. When David says they want to destroy others, he's talking about people whose greatest joy comes from harming others. The comparison, like the stench from an open grave, is deliberately disgusting. A stench is a terrible smell, and an open grave would smell of death and decay. David is saying their words are as repulsive as the smell of death. Yet, paradoxically, their tongues are filled with flattery. They speak sweet words that hide evil intentions. Flattery means insincere praise designed to manipulate, like telling someone they look great when you want something from them. David calls for justice with passionate language. O God, declare them guilty. Let them be caught in their own traps. Drive them away because of their many sins, for they have rebelled against you. The phrase declare them guilty uses legal language. David wants an official verdict. When a judge declares someone guilty, it's a formal pronouncement. The imagery of being caught in their own traps is poetic justice. The very schemes they create to harm others end up harming them instead. It's like a hunter falling into the pit he dug for animals. Drive them away means to force them to leave, like driving away unwanted animals. The phrase many sins emphasizes the quantity and variety of their wrongdoing. When David says they have rebelled against you, he's using political language. Rebellion means refusing to accept authority, like citizens rebelling against their government. The psalm ends with a beautiful contrast of joy and protection. But let all who take refuge in you rejoice. Let them sing joyful praises forever. Spread your protection over them, that all who love your name may be filled with joy. The word but creates a sharp contrast between the fate of the wicked and the blessed. When someone takes refuge, they seek shelter and safety, like taking refuge from a storm in a strong building. The word rejoice means to feel and express great happiness. It's more than just being content. It's actively celebrating. Joyful praises combines emotion with expression, not just feeling happy, but singing about it. The word forever emphasizes duration. This joy isn't temporary. The beautiful image of God spreading protection over them is like a parent covering a child with a warm blanket. The phrase filled with joy suggests complete satisfaction, not just a little happiness, but overflowing delight. David concludes with the ultimate promise, for you bless the godly, O Lord. You surround them with your shield of love. The word bless means to give good things to someone, to make their life better. When God blesses people, He provides for them, protects them, and gives them happiness. The word godly doesn't just mean religious, it means people who live according to God's character, showing love, honesty, and compassion. The final image is military. God surrounds them with your shield of love. A shield is defensive armor that blocks attacks. When you're surrounded by something, it's all around you, providing complete protection. But this isn't just any shield, it's a shield of love. This means God's love itself becomes the protection. In our dangerous world, this ancient promise offers the ultimate security, not just physical protection, but being completely surrounded by divine love. This is why David could face his enemies with confidence, and why his morning routine of prayer gave him unshakable peace throughout the day.